going to eat what there's there, and that's what happens. And sometimes you're more restrictive, thinking, oh, I shouldn't have that cake, I better have carrots instead, or instead of thinking about what your body wants or needs at the time.
I would just find that the restrictive and the mindful can very closely, because as I learn more about nutrition, I'm more aware of eating and what I'm putting in my body and when, which could be looked upon as being restrictive, because now I'm really thinking of it. Because when you talk about mindful eater, they'll listen to their body, they'll eat healthy foods, and then just when you're full. But the more knowledge you get, or if you've had a restrictive eating cycle, and then you're trying to move into that mindful, I think they play in your mind constantly, because I may restrict myself some, but I think that's a good choice. I restricted myself on that food because I didn't eat it and I wasn't hungry. But there's a fine line of not having the guilt with it, or not just enjoying food because it's okay to enjoy it.
Another name, the doctor who wrote this cycle is Dr. Michelle May, and her website is on one of your handouts. And she calls it the eat, repent, repeat cycle. You know, where you eat something, you say, oh gosh, shouldn't have had that, and then you go do it again. You know, you're good for a while, and then you go through it again. So being aware, and that's the purpose of what we're trying to do, is just raise some awareness about why you're eating. So your question there about whether, you know, the instinctive versus the restrictive eating, does that answer? Does that make sense now, or?
Yeah, well, and it pretty much, like, she's like, that's just always been her, like, ever since we were little, that's just been her style of eat.
Okay, yeah.
So it's not anything that, like, fluctuates with, like, anything else. It's
that's just her style of eating is,
it's a running joke, and it's funny, but you didn't mention the grazer.
Yeah. The grazer could be instinctive, or it could be mindful, or it could be overeater, or it could be a combination. So it's just to try and think about that. Any other questions? So that's kind of the information I wanted to cover today. The activity for this week is on the website, the Am I Hungry website. There is an online assessment that you can fill out that asks questions to determine what type of eater you are. And it doesn't say you're specifically instinctive or you're specifically restrictive. What it does, it looks at your answers, it's very quick. And they look at the answers, and then they will send you back an email saying, okay, you know, you're very strong in the restrictive eating. Here's some ideas maybe to kind of look at that and change those restrictive eating behaviors. Or you're a really instinctive eater, good for you, but you are still doing some of the overeating things. So that's the activity for this week. Val will send that link out to the team captains with the video. If you want to do it ahead of time, just go to that website and you'll find it on there. It's called the Eating Cycle Assessment, if you don't want to wait for that. So, yes.
Kathy, just a question. When I think of mindful eating, I often think of label reading. Just because as we get to know labels and foods, when I'm going to the grocery store and I'm trying to make a healthy choice between something, looking at labels. I know a little bit on it. Can you touch a little bit on label reading and what would be some things that individuals would look for or not look for on labels?
Not this week, but if people are interested in that, we can do that next week.
Okay.
If you want to do a little bit of label reading, just so we can have something for you to look at as well, because it's pretty hard to talk about it and then you go away and think, what'd she say? So yeah, are people interested in that, looking at labels? Because we can include that next week as well, if people are interested in that. Okay.
I just often find that I get overwhelmed because I look at labels, but then I'm like, what am I looking for? Am I looking at calories, fat, trans fat, unsaturated, saturated, sugar, vitamins, fiber? Like there's a lot, right? So if I'm only looking at one thing, then that's clear, but I think it's more complex than that. Right? There are different things we're looking for. So yes. I got ahead of the game. I guess that's next week's lesson.
Well, no, it wasn't going to be next week. If people are interested in that, it's for your guys' information. So we're trying to, My goal is to try and create awareness around not just nutrition, but why we eat and how we can change eating habits so that we're maybe eating a little bit more healthfully. So that's all. Okay, thank you very much for coming,
Thank you.
Awesome.
and
Thank
hopefully
you.
we'll see you next week.
Yeah. Have a great day, everybody, and we'll get the video on as soon as we can.
Oh, what I was going to mention, there's a poster back there for a program called Living Your Best Weight. It's going to be offered by the health region, so if you're interested, there's a contact number on there and some information.